guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, it's got to that stage again where my desk is absolutely like, I literally cannot even barely sit here. It's so messy. So yeah, I thought let's just come along and have a bit of a kind of, you know, use up some things that are laying around, half finished projects and things like that. So I've got some fabric tip-ins here. They just need finishing off. I've got some gorgeous vellum, you know, what are going to be kind of wraparound booklets need finishing off. I've got here some fly sheet papers and things. They're just kind of laying around on here. So yeah, I just thought let's come along, have a bit of a kind of, you know, finish off projects and, you know, use some of the bits that need kind of tidying up and finishing off really. So these are fabric tip-ins. They have been stitched on the sewing machine and I just want to finish them off, you know, very simply, maybe kind of by putting like a bow or something, you know, just very, very, very simple kind of pieces, just to make them look kind of pretty and finished basically. So yeah, this one here, I've just got a bow, and again, I'm going to try and actually finish them off using, you know, further things that are laying about, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to try not to, you know, to pull anything else in. I'm going to just try and use things that are genuinely laying around here. So then, you know, rather than pull more mess in, which of course is never a good thing, you know, if I can at all just use things that are laying around here in the first place, then of course that's going to be better, isn't it? So I've got these lilac flowers. What do we think to those? Do you like those? Do you think they go? I'm not really too sure. So already I'm already deliberating and, you know, already kind of like thinking, oh, should I pull some things in? No, I don't want to pull things in. Right, so got some brighter pink flowers. They may be better. Oh, they're better, aren't they? It's weird, isn't it? But sometimes, you know, you just straight away, oh, actually, they're better on here. You know, you straight away get a feel for what's going to look good and what's not. Now, unfortunately, I'm not the best at cutting fabric or anything, so you can probably see this is pretty wonky. It's not looking that great. So I'm just going to try and tidy it up. Let me put my glasses on. So I'll hopefully make a slightly better job. Okay. Then we just go across here at the bottom. I mean, to be honest, I quite like the, you know, the torn edges with fabric, really. But once it's stitched in, it becomes quite hard, I find, to tear it down. So, you know, I'm just going to kind of like embrace things as I kind of need to, if you see what I mean. So yeah, I'm going to just put this whole row of these 3 rosebuds, and hopefully these flower trims are available on my website at the moment. So yeah, there we go. So that's that one. That's two down, a lot still to go. So let's trim this one. Oh, I'm so sorry if you can hear my printer. It's you know, doing its stuff in the corner of the room. Well, not the corner of the room, behind my desk, basically. Not behind my desk, but like in front of me, basically, over that way. But yeah, I can't see it, but it's like the other side of my desk. There we go. Right, so, I mean, this is a really pretty one, isn't it? Did it with these 2 layers of lace, which just looks gorgeous. Now, it's not on my desk, but it's on the floor beside my desk. Oh. Yeah, on the floor beside my desk. I just had this pearly trim, so let's just use that one. Now, do we want it? I mean, this is very splurgy, I have to say, to use the whole, you know, or not use the whole thing, but put the thing or the pearly trim right the way across the whole width. But it does look pretty, doesn't it? I mean, how gorgeous does that look? Very fairy tale-ish. So yeah, it's surprising how quickly the desk gets, you know, I might have to just take that one off. The desk gets full again. You know, it doesn't take that long. I mean, to be honest, just literally a couple of projects and that's it. It's kind of full to the brim again. So yeah, I thought, well, I need to kind of get on top of it because it's come to the point where I actually can't even continue with like the, you know, the projects that I'm kind of mid-flow in, because I can't now find all the things that I was using on them because they're so buried. So yeah, it definitely had come to the point where it was like, my goodness, I've got no choice but to now do some kind of, you know, emergency action here. Right, now I'm thinking maybe just like a little row of these. So a little kind of row of the pearly trims, and then if I've got some of those pink rosebuds, maybe like a pink rosebud further down on this little tip-in. Oh, I've also got, oh no, I haven't, no, I haven't, just ignore me. Oh, here we go. There we go. So I'm kind of thinking maybe, oops, maybe have one of these, you know, lower down on here. So that there, like, oops, like that. And then this here, I'm just going to put it up there so as I get like a rough guide of how much glue I need, you know, how long that needs to be. So like that. Okay. There we go, super pretty. I mean, you could just leave these fabric tip-ins exactly as they were, you know, just stitched across at the top. That would also be fine. But, you know, I do really like decorating things. So, you know, if you can decorate it, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you indeed? Right. So let's see what else I've got here laying around. Oh, what else? Oh, I've got quite a few little, yeah, flower trims here. Okay. Oops, I've got these blue ones. I don't know. I mean, they're not quite the right colour blue, are they? But not too bad. So let's just try here. Little pink. A couple of pink flowers. So yeah, maybe some pink ones over here. Oops. Just have those clumsy days, don't you? And well, you might not have those clumsy days, but I definitely do. Yep, I'm having a clumsy day today. So right, let's just have a look at this. Okie dokie. Yeah, I mean, share below. How often do you clear your desk up? Not saying I'm going to, oh, follow your lead, heavens, you know, no, probably won't. But yeah, just out of interest, you know, are you kind of like a clear up your desk every day after you've worked? Because I mean, some people do that, don't they? I mean, definitely that's not the way for me. Yep. Oh gosh, I mean, I'm lucky if I clear it kind of probably on a yearly basis. No, I mean, I do clear it slightly more frequently than that, but yeah, there's no way I could be clearing it every time I did a project because, well, that's just not really my type of thing. But, you know, some people do work like that, don't they? And, you know, that's quite interesting to hear. If you do that, you know, how do you even get time to be doing that? You know, then the next time that you kind of come to work on that project, do you have to then drag every single thing back out, or do you just kind of pull one or two things out? You know, how does that work? Kind of intrigued by people who do that, to be honest. You know, it takes a lot of discipline, I think, to you know, be as kind of, yeah, organised as that. But and I can see that, you know, for some people, they maybe have to do that because they would definitely not like to work in this chaos. You know, as I wouldn't like to probably work in a, you know, that tidy kind of environment. Don't get me wrong, a bit tidier than it is right now probably would be great. But yeah, probably would struggle with anything too tidy because, you know, I find that throws me off balance a little bit. Just going to tear this down slightly because it looks like it's a bit long on that sort of final layer. Yeah, just kind of prefer it slightly shorter there. And then the little flower, maybe on this. Well, that's a good job done straight away. So we have finished those fabric tip-ins. So, yep, that's all good. Now I'm going to keep all the bits that we finish and get on top of. I'm going to keep to one side, and then we can just see at the end of the video how much stuff we've accomplished. Let's hope we're going to accomplish quite a few things. So the next thing are these little tracing paper, you know, wraparound kind of booklet things. So what I've done, I had wrapped these around previously, and then kind of obviously never really got around to finishing them. So they just need, well, some need more things than others. So this one, for instance, needs just trimming down here on this side. Okay, like that. Okay, now I probably could even get 2 out of this. Do I want to get 2 out of this, or do I want to just trim it down? I might just trim it down and have a slightly smaller one. So shall I? Tough decision, but yeah, I'm just going to trim it across the top. You could have these, you know, full page height, but yeah, I think just a little bit smaller might be quite nice. So that's that, and then I will fill these with pages in a minute. So we've then got a postage, you know, this is from the postal collection. That one was the Shabby Chic collection. So this one here, oh, what was I doing with this? Sometimes you get things and you think, oh, what was my plan with that? No idea. Ah, right. Perhaps I was taking this down here. So I'm just going to take this down like that. So, yeah. Now, I quite like to just fold my paper in because it gives me a guide of where to cut. So I'm just going to do that there. I mean, that's the only thing, isn't it? You know, some things are glaringly obvious what your plan was or what you were doing with them. Some things, you know, if you don't do them there and then, when you come to look at them a few weeks later, or even days later, or in my case, sometimes even hours later, I'm completely stumped and I think, oh, what was I doing with that? So this one here, for example, I might actually cut this down and make it much smaller. So yeah, let's do it like that. And then we might make 2. So we'd have this one and then a smaller one. So I'm just going to trim this down because it's not all that straight. Oh, yeah, okay. And yeah, I'm wondering, do we want to make this into a smaller one, or we could use just like a couple of portions of this and just kind of staple it together in amongst some other ephemera? I think either would work fine. I don't know. Going to put that to one side. Oh, so yeah, not off my desk in fact at all. Right, this one I just need to take this side down because it's not, you know, not fitting on the inside, if you see what I mean. So yeah, just cut that down there. You know, and it doesn't matter if it's not perfectly straight, to be perfectly honest. I mean, nobody's going to come round and, you know, have a look and check you've got things straight or anything like that. Now, again, do we want to take this, cut it in half? Let's just see. So, well, not half, but, you know, like that. So that would be 1, which would be really nice. Let me just see what the remaining one would be like. Not bad, actually. So, yeah, I probably could get 2. Let me just check. Yeah, should we do 2 out of this? Oh gosh, got to just be careful I don't cut that bird's head off. Just this one here. I was really close. Can you see that? Oh my goodness, he was very, very, very close to getting his head cut off. Yep. Okay. Like that. Okay. Yeah. So that's that one. Oh my goodness, awful, awful cutting yet again. Oh my goodness me. Right. Oh, come on. What on earth? Right, it's that one. Then this one, just going to again just trim this up here. Just because I don't want that flap too big. So yeah, just kind of taking it over slightly. Just makes it look a bit better, I think, you know, more pleasing to the eye. Right, then we've got this one. This is from my Junk Journal Basics 2 collection. I absolutely love this kit, I have to say. Now, the problem is this is a gorgeous piece of paper and I don't want to lose anything on there. So I'm thinking I could just cut it at the top and have this more of a sort of full height one again. So yeah, we'll just go across here a bit. I mean, it's not quite full height now because obviously I've trimmed that top, but it's quite tall. So yeah, like that, I think. So, right, so that is my little wraparounds kind of cut smaller. Now, I've got here, like I say, some fly sheet. Now, the fly sheet, you know, my understanding of the fly sheet is it's those kind of empty pages, you know, that you get inside, you know, the first page or two of the book. Now, you can see this is quite severely marked. You know, I mean, personally, I don't mind that. You know, I think that's almost quite, you know, quite nice. So, yeah, I'm going to just incorporate those as my pages. So, we'll just have that one. Now, this one, again, you can see it's got some writing on there. Doesn't bother me, and actually even more so because when you cut this, fold this, you know, depending on which way round you kind of put this in. So let's just say we have this in here like that. You know, it's kind of round the back. It's not visible. It's only going to be like, you know, there when you journal. And then you could just avoid around there. So, you know, I think that's kind of quite cool, to be honest. So I'm going to trim this down so it's a bit smaller so that it tucks in. So I might not have got this quite small enough yet, but we can always go back in and trim it again. Oh, no. Yeah, so that's good. So that's a couple of pages there that we can obviously just pop into this one. So I'll staple these in a minute. So this one here, this has even got the price on it from where I obviously purchased this. You can see it was £14.99. So yeah, and again, what I'm going to do is just fold it in half. Now this is just written in pencil, so I mean technically you could rub this out. I'm not sure that I've even got a rubber here these days, to be honest. You know, people just help themselves to things from my room, and yeah, I come to use things and then I don't even have them. So yeah, I'm looking, I don't think I've even got a rubber, I'm afraid. But you know, that's fine. It doesn't, you know, it's not like in the way or obtrusive or anything like that. So let's just fold this one down. Now this is going to go inside this postal collection one. And then I've just got here some of my food coloured paper, which I will just fold this section in. So I'm, you know, literally using kind of scraps that are laying around here, as you can see. I'm just going to take this down here like that. Okay. Right, let's see. So that needs to come down a little bit in, you know, terms of how wide it is. But actually, height-wise, that's not bad, to be honest. So let's just check it against this one. So, oh my goodness, that's like huge in comparison, isn't it? So, yep. Oops, perhaps what I should do is, yep, take it down here. Like that. And just get rid of those edges. And to be honest, I mean, I quite like to just have a couple of pages in. Obviously, you can put more pages in depending on, you know, how you like them. If I put more pages, I would probably use maybe that deli paper and things, because that's nice and thin, which will keep them quite flat when you're kind of tucking them in. So, you know, yeah, depending on how you're going to be using them. If you wanted them quite flat, I would use, you know, something like the deli paper or the greaseproof paper, something like that. And then that would keep that, you know, nice and compact still. So that's those. Just put those to one side. Now this one was another sheet of fly sheet. This is from like a coffee table book, you can probably see. So it's a nice big page, slightly more sheeny, which is a bit of a shame because I prefer it a bit more matte than this, but you know, it's fine. I'm just seeing, oh yeah, I can probably just fold it straight in half, and then I can use the bottom bit, you know, maybe, I don't know, a flippy pad or something like that. So we'll take this and we will just cut this one down around about here. Oops. I mean, in an ideal world, kind of cut them slightly smaller than your cover. Oops. But, you know, that's not always necessary. You could cut them to the height. I mean, you probably wouldn't want them taller than, but yeah, probably kind of cut them to the height, sort of, you know, but no bigger than that. I quite like mine slightly smaller normally, so, but again, there's no hard and fast rules, you know, and obviously it's your projects if you're doing things like this, so, you know, you could do however you fancy. Now, I'm just having a look to see, so I've got some of that deli paper under my desk, so I know I said that I was trying to stick with things on my desk, but, I mean, this is just under my desk, which, to be honest, it's not on the floor, it's on the, well, it's on top of a box under my desk, so, yeah, it's not on the floor or anything, but, you know, it's certainly not tidy, not put away or anything like that. So I'm just going to then fold this in and, yeah, kind of make a few extra pages with this. So, like that. Now, just trim this down here on the side. Again, obviously not too worried. You can see, I mean, it's pretty scrappy how I've cut it in the past. So, and when I say deli paper, this is not greaseproof paper. This is, well, I bought it in a massive batch from Amazon quite a long time ago, a couple of years ago, or I don't know, maybe even longer than that. I can't remember now what they called it. They may have called it deli paper, and perhaps that's where where I've got that term from. It is, yeah, it is, right, just checking kind of what sort of height that other one is, because then when I cut through this, hopefully it's going to be then suitable for both of these. It is the type of paper that probably, I don't know, maybe they would have wrapped fish and chips in, or, you know, things like that. I don't know what else they'd really wrap, but, you know, like a food wrap type paper, but not a greaseproof paper. So, yeah, a food wrap, but not greaseproof. And I think it was sort of sheets of it, and maybe got like, I don't know, it was a massive quantity. And it's not that easy to store, I have to be honest. But what is really nice about this, and this sounds really weird, and, you know, anyone who wasn't a junk journaler would hear me say this and think, what's wrong with that woman? It kind of yellows over time, which I absolutely love, because it then feels and looks really vintagey. I'm just going to take this down slightly more because it's a little bit long, wide. Yeah, it looks really vintagey. It possibly is the same as kind of a newsprint type paper, because I feel like, you know, when I searched for it, that, you know, it was in that sort of section as well. So yeah, maybe kind of newsprint slash deli paper, that type of thing. So you can see here, I've actually got quite a lot of pages now in here, but because it's such thin paper, it's not really going to compromise my piece at all. It's, you know, it's nice and flat still. So that goes in there like that. Oh, I might need to take it down slightly more on that width, but I'll have to, because I can't even demonstrate what I'm talking about now. So hold on 2 moments while I just take this down slightly more. Okay. So, yeah. And that just goes in there like that. So as you can see, so even though it's got that many pages, that's super flat, isn't it? So it's quite a good paper to use, I think, for, you know, putting multiple pages in. Now, I have to be honest, if you're writing on this, you can probably only write on one side, because it is very thin paper. So, you know, I mean, there's always kind of like, not a price to pay exactly, but, you know, you're always going to have sort of compromise somewhere. So, I mean, if you've got thinner pages so you can get more pages in, the drawback of that is, you know, it's not going to be like paper that you can write on both sides. Also, you do need to be a little bit careful what pen you use, because if you used something like a Sharpie, it would bleed through onto the underneath pages. So, yeah, I mean, there is always kind of a bit of a compromise, I think, whenever you make anything, really. But yeah, you know, I think kind of that's a small price to pay, because you can get a lot of pages in there, which, you know, also makes it really squishy and really nice to touch, which I love. So that's those. Now I'm just going to take my stapler so that we can be nice and quick putting these pages in. Oops, is that in the middle? Yeah. So like this. Now, I mean, I'm pretty rubbish. I just kind of fold my pages over a little bit so that I can get my stapler in. I know you can do that little trick, you know, where you kind of fold your stapler out and make it flat. Personally, I don't get on very well with doing things like that. I mean, I've not even gone on very well with this. You can see, misplaced my staple completely. So, oh my goodness, I should have to restaple that. But yeah, the whole like opening your stapler thing out, oh, that's a faff for me. You know, because that to me, that's a bit paper trimmery, in that you have this massive, great big cumbersome object then that of course I'm no good with. So for me, I'd rather just kind of fold this in a little bit, and then when you squish it back down, you haven't kind of damaged that at all or anything, you know, particularly once that's squished into a journal, it will go completely flat anyway. So, you know, for me, I think that's just an easier way to do it. But of course, you know, each to their own, and you may find that actually opening your stapler out is kind of preferable. This one I'm just going to trim down slightly more in terms of height, because it is more or less the height of my piece, which again, if I misjudge where I staple, I like to just have a little bit of, you know, give. Otherwise I could end up with my pages overhanging. So I've now just got, you know, 1 millimetre or so, or a couple of millimetres either edge, which, you know, just seems to work better, I think. So just fold that over and just, yeah, staple that in there and in there. Okay. That's it. Squish that one down. So in fact, I mean, I might just even put my pinking shears on because they're quite heavy, to be honest. So I think they're going to squish it down quite well. So here I've got this, you know, those couple of pages of fly sheet. Like I say, I mean, I might even just leave this many pages in here, or I have got this sheet left actually. So perhaps I'll just incorporate that one. Oh my goodness, terrible, not straight cutting at all there. So just make that slightly smaller. Oh my goodness. Bodge. No, I don't know. Bodge. Yeah. Bodgy crafting anyway. So yeah, bodger. Right, so let's just put that in like that. I'm just going to, oops, take that down there. Right, there we go. And then we just kind of fold that over and just, yeah, staple these. So a couple more things off my desk. I mean, they do need decorating still, so we might just quickly finish them up. Otherwise, they're just going to go from like one pile to another pile of more things that need finishing. You know. So yeah, I should probably finish them completely, shouldn't I? So then they are actually gone from my desk rather than just being moved from here to another pile. So, oops. Now I'm using my, you know, bigger stapler here. I'm not using my tiny attacher. Although I have to say, I think my stapler's now playing up. So yeah, I thought that was a bit wonky, that staple. Let's try again. This is where I'm now having problems with my stapler. Oh no, what is going on here? Right, hold on. Okay, let's just try again. Right, so put my pages in, check that they're kind of like in where they need to be. Okay, and then just, yeah, put this in like that. Okay, right. No, this, oh no, look, now we've even torn this a little bit. What on earth? Oh, I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether it's the staples or the stapler. I mean, it is quite an old stapler, it's got to be said. Oh, that's just typical, isn't it? So, right, these two I'm just going to put to one side. Oh, that one I haven't even put pages in there yet. So, right, let's just put those to one side for a moment. So much for finishing things off. Did not get very far, did I? Right, I've got some kind of greyish lace here. Again, this is just laying around on the desk, but oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look on there? It's like it was made for it, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just, you know, when you've got things laying about, they sometimes are just the right things. I mean, sometimes they're not, obviously, but, you know, if you just go with them without kind of like, you know, faffing around too much, which, I mean, I'm very guilty of faffing around. So, right, let me just get my dried, I was going to say my dried wipe, but I think it's dried tissue, and it's obviously been used and used and used. So, yes, very kind of like soggy. Right, I'm making a bit of a mess here, so let me pull in. I've been drying some wipes on the handles of my drawers behind my desk. Right, oh, there we go. Now I like to have the lace overhanging there slightly. I just think that looks pretty, so. Okay, now I have also had lace packs in my shop on my website recently. Again, I don't know whether they're there or not. You know, I do change the stock quite regularly, or, I mean, I'm filming this ahead. The plan is changing my stock quite regularly. Hopefully it's going to plan. So, yeah, there's, you know, if they're not there now, you know, either the roses or the lace or anything like that, I mean, hopefully it wouldn't be very long before there was some in there again. So, yeah, fingers crossed. Now, do we like that lovely, cute little flower? Or would we prefer like a bow? Or I've got some coffee dyed flowers. So I'm just going to try this coffee dyed one. I mean, it's this. Oh no, it's not the same. I was going to say it's the same flower. It's not the same. Yeah, now making things up. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry about my printer again. Right, do we like the white, or do we like the ivory, or do we like both? I mean, we could just have both, to be honest. Should we have both? Oh, let's go for it, shall we? Okay, so I'm just going to hot glue these down. I mean, no reason other than it's, you know, very quick. So, and then I just know that they're, you know, they're glued down. So there we go. Oh, how pretty is that? Love it. Right, it's got a little bit of glue there. Get rid of that. Okay, oh gosh, come on. Oh, I've got more glue on here than I realised. Oh, it's right the way down the whole length. So, oh, would you believe it? Let me mop that out. Okay. Come on. Right, okay. So that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Right, next one is this one. So, yeah, super pretty this, isn't it? I love these shabby chic papers. They're really up my street. Now, I've just got a little slither of fabric. So, I mean, again, these are just scraps, you know. And I'm just kind of thinking, oh, should we use a scrap? Or perhaps we should use the scrap on this one with the birds. I'm not sure that really goes on that one, actually. It's funny, isn't it, how sometimes what you think is going to go actually, you know, doesn't go particularly brilliantly. You know, and sometimes it's the piece that you least expect that, you know, that goes the best. Now, I did have some edges, torn edges somewhere. Here we go. Let's just see. This is the damask papers, and I just wondered whether I could have this. Well, either under, although I'm not sure I like how that looks then, like that. Or we could have it there. Maybe something like that. I mean, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Or do we like that kind of like along the edge? Oh, I can't decide now. Right, let's just pull in some, yes, just see what other lace I've got. So, hold on a moment. So I'm thinking I need something quite thin, don't I? So I'm just reaching down because I've got some other lace beside me. So yeah, this was in the bag that I take to my mum's house. So let me just get it. Hold on. Sorry, it's caught up with some other stuff. Hold on. Oh my goodness, now look. It's just a tiny slither. it wasn't a tiny slither, but it was caught up with something. So by the time I pulled it, it became a tiny slither. So yeah, I mean, we could have something like that running down the edge. I mean, that looks quite pretty, doesn't it? I mean, obviously, oh, sorry about my printer. Oh, what a horrible noise, sorry. Or we could have that there, and then we could have like something on the edge here. I mean, I do really like that lace on there, it's got to be said. Not sure whether I like the decorative edge strip on there. It's not a decorative edge strip, but you know what I mean. Maybe I just like the, you know, the sort of delicate quality of just that lace, really. Just going to just try this. You know, more scraps that are just laying around. So just, you know, pulling stuff in, really. But yeah, let's just try this, because I'm thinking perhaps we could just have like that there. And then just this going along here. Oh my goodness. How lovely does that look? Right, so I need to be a bit careful because this Fabri-Tac's really seeping out the bottle today. So, right, let's just... Oh, come on. Like that. Just go right the way along. So I'm just going to put this one down here. Ooh. That down there. Try and check it's up the right way, not the wrong way. Okay, like that. And then this ivory lace, which... And I have talked about this before. I mean, sometimes, you know, these little kind of... I don't know what you'd call these, but like edge trim type laces, they're the types of things that, you know, kind of if I was in a shop, I mean, I'd very rarely buy these because I'd think, oh, you know, what am I going to do with that? But actually, they are so handy for just trimming and, you know, putting on, you know, for example, an edge here, or using with your decorative edge strips. So yeah, don't kind of ever reject the tiny laces. You know, if you ever see them, they're actually probably handier than you first think. So yeah, oh my goodness, I love that one. That is yummy, 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 yummy. Yeah, so pretty. Right, so this one here with the birds. So this is from the birds collection, you know, that's on my Etsy. And yeah, just thinking if I could use some of this again, because I've obviously torn it off now and it's just now become a scrap that would then be laying around on my desk. So if I could possibly use this rather than pull in something else, it might be a good thing to do. So let's just take these blue flowers down. I don't know whether these are going to look pretty with this or not, but obviously it has got the blue here, so I'm kind of thinking, you know, keeping with the blue theme. Oops. Maybe something like that. I mean, it's not really the right colour blue, to be honest, but it does look quite pretty, doesn't it? So yeah, I think I'm going to just do that. So, oh my goodness. Right. Oh, this is super, super fiddly because there is not, you know, it's quite close to the colour that's on the underneath paper, so I can't really see a defining edge, if you see what I mean, because of obviously how I'm holding this. Yeah, the light's kind of catching it, and yeah, I couldn't really see then where was the edge and where wasn't. Right, so I'm just going to pop this little edge trim down there. Oh my goodness, how pretty is that? Love it. Love it, love it. Right, super gorgeous. Well, I have to say, we have not made much of a dent on my desk. It still looks appalling. Still can't see any of the bits that I'm missing for getting on with some of the things that I was hoping to work on today. So that's not really good. Right, let's have that one down there. So yeah, just pop that on there. Then this one, I think we'll just have this like up there or something. You know, it's just kind of like bringing that blue in. Right, just be careful I don't get glue on that underneath sheet. There we go. Oh my goodness, how pretty is that? Oh, I love it. Oops, love it. Really, really love it. Okay, so I probably have to kind of finish there now. So I'm just seeing what the time is. I think it says 39 minutes. So, wow, the time absolutely flies by, doesn't it? Right, okay, so what did we do? We did not achieve very much, mainly because of that stapler. I'm going to blame the stapler. So we finished these gorgeous little bits off, which I absolutely love. And we also finished our fabric tip-ins off, which of course I'd kind of made previously. But we just finished them by adding just like some floral trim, some pearly trim, you know, and a bow and things. So, you know, although we haven't really achieved a great deal, and certainly the desk looks no different, we have done a few little bits and pieces. So yeah, I hope that, you know, you like the bits that we did finish, and yeah, maybe it will inspire you to do some bits and finish some bits off that are laying around on your desk. And yeah, hopefully you'll join me next time. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.